It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Yes, I know it's late. I should be getting ready for my event tomorrow, which I am very well prepared, but I had to do this one. I had to break it down because what I'm seeing. I'm in several groups, and one of my most expensive ones I'm paid to be in, I'm hearing the same things echo and repeat. And when you hear that, stop, look, pay attention. Like, oh wait, something's going on. Well, and what's up, you guys? I see you guys are up late too. There are my hair's pulled up because I got pool hair, right? There's some things that just stood out to me this week in the different groups I've been in. So we live in a very segmented economy. Today, the lady who was giving me my massage before my facial was a surgery tech. She actually works at a hospital, and she was just working there part-time. And as I'm listening to her story, I'm like, what? But again, she's talking and I'm just listening. People who have a skill, which she literally has a skill, she's working at a hospital, but she's working part-time as a massage, as a masseuse. There's nothing wrong with that. Trying to get ahead. She was talking about, well, yeah, people won't hire you down here. And she's in Atlanta. Let's make that very clear. Atlanta. People won't hire you. You got the skill, and they're not hiring you. It's really frustrating. And I was just sitting there listening like, not the Black Mecca, right? But the reason I keep saying the economy is very segmented is because people who theoretically should be doing just fine are having lumps. Now, on top of that, I had to show you this news article. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Let me see. Should share screen. Let's see. I don't know if it'll work, y'all. Oh, no. Nope. Cancel that. Don't do it. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me do it this way. Maybe not. Oh, man. Dang. I really want to show y'all this. See if I pull it away or make it a separate screen, will that make it work better? So, long story short, I was watching the news, and you guys can look at this up for yourself. Kroger in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, is putting in these cages. Now, it looks like glass partitions, but as you watch it, you're like, wait a minute, this is like a cage. It's literally what you would put in a store to stop like a mass looting of a store. It's what you would put in the store to like shut the store down. You ever see like The Walking Dead and the stores all look ransacked and people done tore through them and wore it out? That kind of thing. Well, let me see if it'll let me share. Yeah. Hold on. I found it. I found it now. All right. Hold on. I found it now. Found out how to make it work. Okay. Okay. Hope y'all can see this. Hold on a second. Boom. Now look at this. Look All right, well, y'all see Skynet don't want me to share it with y'all. Holy smokes. I mean, it's just. All right, well, y'all see Skynet don't want me to share it with y'all. Okay, well, y'all see what happened. Okay, so let me just tell you what happened, okay? Kroger has got these cages and these partitions, and it looks like glass sliding doors. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And you're like, why would a store put that in there? Why? Why would a store do that? And my thoughts are, this is Metro Atlanta. It's a busy, crazy busy store. What would happen in this area for them to do that? A shit hits the fan scenario, a bank run, a hurricane, a storm, because people can't just run up and down the store aisles and loot or take products if there's all these glass doors. It would slow down the flow of traffic, and if need be, the grocery store would slide the doors closed. And when I saw this, I was like, I know what I'm seeing. Now, many people are saying, oh, this is racism. And I wanted to say, stop. You're in Atlanta. Just telling Black people here, this isn't racism. This is a protection method for this store in case of a bad situation. And I knew immediately when I saw it, I knew this is what it was. Now, you guys will see me post it. I posted in the community section. I've also posted the video on Instagram. And I just wanted to show y'all what I'm talking about. There's segments in the economy. Now, I'm in several credit groups, credit card groups. I paid like levels of money to be in different people's classes. Even one dude here, won't name his name, he's in this particular group I'm in. And even they, at this higher level, are all experiencing all of a sudden a stop. And I'm scared to even mention it, but that Amex and Chase, all of a sudden it's like, whoop, only $2,000 limits. Now, I'm in one group, right? In this group, and 20 people are all saying the same thing. I'm getting denials. I'm only getting $2,000. I'm only getting $2,000. Business account, people with 750 credit scores. Now I'm in another group. They got 30 people in there. Yeah, we're only getting $2,000 limits too. Now I go to my third group I'm in, and they're like, yeah, isn't that weird? And everybody keeps trying to say, well, Erica, it's that time of year where fraud happens, and they're just ramping down credit. No, you're not going to tell me I'm actually in 5, but I'm in 5 different groups, and 20, 30 people in each and every group who have 720, 750 credit scores, all of a sudden are all getting $2,000 Amex cards or $2,000 Chase cards. All of a sudden it's just, do you understand? Do you understand what's happening here? There's going to be that segmented economy. There's going to be some people in the economy doing well, and some doing poorly, and they can't seem to get out of it. Now, when the girl was giving me a massage, I thought, this is an older woman. She's about to, what's she doing here, right? And as she started talking, she's like, well, my other job is a surgical tech. So I'm listening. I'm like, a surgical tech? And in my mind, all I can think of is if you're in your 40s and you're a surgical tech, to me, if you're having struggles with your money and you feel like they're stopping you from having the jobs or income you want, I would go be a nurse. Now, many people say, well, Erica, you don't understand. It takes a lot to be a nurse. You have to do 4 years. You have to do this, that. Listen, at 40 years old, what you got to lose? A surgical tech is a good thing. You need ER people. She was telling me how she worked in the ER. And one day she couldn't get out of a chair. She was, crying. She was like, my stomach was huge. And they were like, let's wheel you down to the ER. Wheel her down to the ER. She has to go into surgery. She had fibroids. So I'm sitting there like, damn. So she's telling me this whole story. And as I'm listening, I'm like, this lady, if she's smart, she'll go be a nurse. Because there's always some 20, 30-year-old girl coming out of school being a surgical tech, handing parts to the surgeons, handing parts, cleaning, making sure. There's a lot I could describe as a surgical tech, y'all, but I'm not going to do all that. Google that on your own free time. But what I see, there's some stuff coming down the pipe and people are transition. Lanny, all the grocery store challenges on social media. No. Lanny, this is bigger than that. Lanny, if I could share the screen without the computer going crazy, I've lived this. It's glass blocking the whole store. It's not just a segment. It's not just grocery store. It's not just the ice cream. It's the whole store. It's like if there was a mask zombie run, the manager could run behind this glass and close the door and yell at the other people to close the other sections. I want y'all to go see this video. I've shared it in the community tab for real. This is literally like, I'm not even joking. And I would not be surprised if you're going to start seeing it in other places. Smaller towns, smaller country grocery stores, they have inventory problems. But big Atlanta, food's coming every single day. Stuff's coming every single day. I'm telling you. And of course, Kroger's like, no, this isn't cages. This is to help us with inventory and effectiveness. No, if I'm a grocery shopper going around the store and I got to go in and out of this glass door to go over here to get some tissue, then go back over here to go get meat, I'm telling you, I'm telling you guys, it's showing you what's coming. Now, in these groups I'm in, where everybody's getting capped at 2,000, well, it's Christmas time. Now, if you know anything about Christmas time, and a lot of people in our event tomorrow will hear me talk about this. Christmas time is when they give out credit cards. Christmas time is where they throw the limits to the ceiling. Like, here's 25,000, here's 25,000. Navy Federal starts throwing cards. Here's 25,000, here's 25,000. But all of a sudden, Amex to start saying, here's $2,000, here's $2,000, here's $2,000 to hundreds of people with 720s. Nothing, no blimps on their credit scores with businesses. You guys, it's a sign. Now, today there was an article, and I tagged Aisha Sheldon in it. And of course, she's ready to untag herself. But basically, the article was talking about two guys who, they're Black, and of course, they sold them to someone else, right? They asked these people to buy their vacant lot, right? They hadn't been living there. Their parents ain't been there. It's just a lot inside of Philadelphia. Now, common sense would say, if somebody wants to buy my lot in a place where I don't live anymore, my grandparents used to live there, I'm going to call somebody. Even if I don't live in that side of town, I'm going to say, hey, what's going on over there? Or, hey, let me find a realtor. Or, hey, let me look on Zillow and see how much this piece of land is worth. They sell the land to the two guys for $6,000 cash. Two siblings. So that means $3,000 each sibling, right? All of a sudden, 5 days later, these guys sell that lot for $127,000. And of course, a developer has it now and he's building stuff on it. Now imagine if the lot got the other people $127,000 in 5 days. I know on Zillow, I know if they talk to any real estate agent, a real estate agent would be like, yo, we can sell this piece of land for $150,000. We can sell this land for $100,000. There's developers all over this area. And people said, the people who this happened to, when the reporter called them and told them it had been sold 5 days later, of course they were angry. But common sense would say due diligence. Why would we sell something for $6,000? Why would anybody come all of a sudden and want to buy your vacant lot? I would, if it was me, I would drive by the hood, even if it was a hood. I'd drive by and be like, what the hell's going on that street over there? Because the whole street has new developments. So common sense would say, if I even took the time or called somebody who used to still live over there, the neighborhood has completely new developments. Every single street, there's new houses everywhere. Wouldn't common sense go, oh man, they're building brand new houses all over here. Oh, we should sell this for more than $6,000 cash. And so people are, some people are like, Erica, they're making the Black guys who they sold it to look like the bad guys. They're not the bad guys. Now, earlier, Glendon Cameron was talking about people getting these crazy assignment fees. That's a crazy assignment fee, $127,000, which they didn't. It was an assignment. They actually sold the lots for that much. So again, somebody said, guess how they feeling? Dumbo, beyond Dumbo. Your grandma would wake up out of her grave and slap you, Dumbo. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Now, when I asked in the group, well, why do you think they're cutting off all these credit cards all of a sudden? Oh, it's fraud. It's, Christmas season. And I said, listen, that doesn't compute for me because everybody knows every Christmas season they're throwing out cards, right? And I'm in enough groups to see that's what's happening, right? So then I see the Kroger putting up gates in a fast-paced area. I'm seeing car dealerships struggle to sell cars. I'm seeing construction still going crazy. Why? Because at the end of the day, I keep trying to tell y'all, if I know somebody right now, him and his girlfriend are moving into a 4-bedroom house. And guess what? They already got 2 friends who are going to move into other rooms and pay rent. Now, immediately, they family like, why y'all got all these people going to be living with y'all? Well, it's a 4-bedroom house. It's a big old house. It's just me and her. We can rent these rooms out and live rent free. We're going to rent them to the guys for $500 a pop. And we actually only pay like $200 in rent. I mean, people don't understand that you can't do that with an apartment. Right? And now all of them get to live in what? A big old house. Right? Now you may say what you will about apartments, but now they get to live in a big old house and have furniture and have community and have a backyard and do, you know what I mean? People keep trying to tell me, Erica, well, people keep building all these houses. You know, who can afford it? Trust me. If you got to rent somewhere, people are going to do what? Rent brand new. I can tell you right now when you go to Austin, Texas, and you can do this in any city. If you have credit problems, you've had a foreclosure, you've had a bankruptcy, you've had an eviction, guess what? If a construction project is brand new, you can move in that brand new construction project. What do you need? Extra deposit. And what do they take deposit off of? Credit cards now. So if somebody got bad credit, had a eviction, had something going on, and they see all this new construction, guess what? They can still move into this new construction. I can tell you right now, and the new construction people do not want to evict. Why? Because if the property is not completed being finished, as they're filling up the apartments, right? Say you got a couple tenants ain't paying on time, you're like, hey, can you please pay on time? Because what happens is the bank looks over the notes. They go, how many units are rented? How many people are in all the stuff? How many? Okay, here's more money to finish the project. I'm telling you, I'm in a new construction that was at less than 60% for years now. And it's brand new. I've only been there 2 years, but I'm telling you, they were struggling to get to the 60% mark. Then they built the brand new one beside them, and they stayed 40% for a long time. Then they got filled back up. Then they're building the company because they bought this whole area. They're building the 3rd building. Now, this same company has 6 brand new apartments in one area. And I can tell you just from living over there, mine is super nice, one beside is super nice, but there's one a little bit further over. It doesn't have a gate. We have gated community on our side. And guess what? My friend had a brand new, the Cadillac Escalade is not brand new, but he had brand new tires and rims and all that stuff. And someone came in the middle of the night, brand new complexes, not but BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, all around, took all 4 tires off. Who would have that skill to move that fast? Look around the complex. This is not being racial at all, but all around the complex are contractors, people doing part of the building contracts, construction. Who would be able to move that fast? People who have those type of skills, right? So the reason, oh my goodness, sorry. I see some. So anyway, even on you see on Skynet, when I'm on Instagram, I post copies of the checks, right? I post them just to kind of show people, hey, this is the checks, this is how much the trucks are making. And every week people, even though I was playing that whole scenario, how much are you getting? How much is read? And this is how I know. This is how I know there will be a lot of people left behind. If you can't even go on Instagram or go Google or go read, I know people going to be left behind. So when I talk about stuff on here or people talk about wholesaling or different things, I'm like, look around what the states are doing. Chicago, Virginia, all these places are starting to make laws against wholesalers without your license and all this stuff, just throwing up red tape. Why? Because there's going to be an opening probably next year or the year after where there's going to be all this money that be made in real estate. There'll be this money made in different projects, but people have not got what? The skill. There's going to be that segmentation of the population, and I see it happening. And people may act like, oh, you're being so dramatic, Erica. It's not going to be that bad. I'm telling you, I see it. I was flying first class the other day. This is not to be bragging, but I have to. I was standing there with my bag, and a bunch of white people stood in front of me, and I'm like, excuse me? So then they say first class. I say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. And I hear a husband and wife and their daughter, they're like, we're sitting first class, Dad? Oh no, I gave up that when I changed the company card. Own teenage daughter calling them out. And I'm just like, excuse me. And I go sit down. And of course, I sit down and, it's an older white guy, not too old, sitting beside me. And the lady comes and says, oh, young lady, what would you like? I'm like, Bailey's and coffee. And the other guy's like, she ain't call me young because I'm old. I'm like, sometimes it be that way. But as people were going on the plane, some of those same people that tried to stand in front of me were all the way going all the way to the back of the plane. Even the couple who the child asked, well, she was 16 maybe, are we going to be sitting first class? And Dad's like, no, I gave that up. They weren't even sitting together. He was going to make the mom and daughter sit together in one spot, and he was going to get in the center spot. What? Flights are cheaper than ever. But you got a family who used to be in first class, now going to be in the back, and I'm seeing this every single flight where people are standing up there on, and I'm like, why are you standing in front of me? Are you first class? No, I'm not. Oh, excuse me then. Excuse me. Why are you standing here? Now, this is not to be, like in people's face, but it's like people are getting their new norm. And I mean, new normal, right? Where somebody is thinking, oh, I'm supposed to be up here near the front. Are you first class? No. Get your ass out the damn way then. What you doing standing up here? And I've experienced this in multiple airports where you're sitting here like, why are you standing here then? Oh, okay, excuse me. Just clowning yourself, getting yourself clowned. And part of why I'm paying attention, you guys. Portable solar power. I've seen those ads all over, not because I was looking for it. It's just been popping up. And I thought, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. People living in cars. People living in vans. There's a channel called Individual. What is it called? Individual. Oh, gosh. It's Invisible Citizen. It's a whole channel that the guy goes around California just talking to homeless people and how they got homeless. Oh, goodness. I can't. Okay, yeah, I see it. I think it's Invisible Citizen. So I'm really interested. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Oh, look, I have the cool thing again. Hold on, let me see. So yes, I see it. Thank you, David. Thank you, Mr. Longway. $5 from Longway. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What's up? Sarah, I don't know. I think it may be for the coming recession for sure. From Alabama, moved to Washington State. Wow, congratulations. Let me see what else I got here. I've been hearing Fed Bank helping with liquidity crisis. Yep, that's part of it. The Fed Bank is cutting back, so it's going to affect the other bank. It's a final kebab. Listen, there's a lot. Listen, and this is the thing. You're paying the price, and I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to call it being ignorant. I'm going to call it being lazy. Because if those two siblings, it wasn't just one sibling, it was two. If those two siblings just took the time to get on their phone, research the area, look up Zillow, call up any realtor. See, this is what happens when people say, well, I'm middle class. Okay, if you're middle class and you own land that you inherited from your grandparents and you want to sell it, wouldn't you as a middle class person have in your network of people to call? A real estate agent, insurance person, anybody with a phone, computer. And I'm telling you this, when you hear stories like that, they didn't even have the knowledge. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it was the knowledge. I think it was the laziness. When you don't have to put your hard work to something, you're kind of like, okay, well, we'll sell it, fine, whatever. I'm telling you. My cousin that you straight up remind me of was going to have me do that 10 to 12 years ago, but I wasn't ready. I'm telling you. And it's a way that one person buys the house, everybody's paying rent, and then move and do it again. People keep doing it over and over. Does it make sense to take money out of the big banks because you really trust the FDIC? Pro style, here's what I would be saying. I personally would be, and this is what I'm seeing in all these groups. People are rushing to get all these credit cards, right? And I'm seeing people get, oh, I bought some Apple laptops and I returned them and they shut down all 6 of my accounts. Yeah, because they're seeing a pattern. It would be better for you to take those credit cards and start trying to do multiple manufacturer spending would be to build an actual business, build a Shopify store, just so many different things. And I'm seeing it in multiple groups. I'm seeing it in multiple places. I know it's crazy, you guys. Hey, thank you, Tamara Sharp, for the $2 super chat. Yeah. Man, listen, I had some slots, but I just hired like 7 people. So I will let you know what they tell me I need. And then if they need some kind of extra work or some kind of stuff, I will get another person hired. What's up, Apple Mac? No, I don't think so. Here, let me put it to you this way. Me, myself, and I. He will not be impeached because it would need 20 Republicans and some additional other people. It just would need so much. And by the time the process really rolls through, it'll be time for the election. And the Democrats don't have a strong person. It's just not going to happen. If you want to see the stock market go really crazy, impeach him. Yeah, Trump ain't going nowhere. Again, he ain't going nowhere. In Flint, Michigan, they'll walk up on you with cash and buy your property for pennies on a dollar. Yeah, because when you have the news saying it's dangerous, you should leave here. Now, my friend's parents live in Flint, Michigan, but they live right on the outskirts or something. If I know the name of the town, I'll tell you. But literally, they got all their stuff checked. They're like, the water's fine. But let me put it to you this way. If you actually read the headline, if you actually go Google lead found in city pipes, hundreds of cities will show up. You got to understand that the United States was built solid. A lot of things you see on the East Coast, 300 years old, 200 years old, 100 years old, they are old. And those things were going to need to be replaced anyway. We're not like Europe, where some of these places have marble and limestone built in their water system. Like they literally built water systems in the 18th century with limestone. This is the United States, where we built things with iron and steel and Irishmen and Black people and just building stuff all over the place, but didn't have the next step for how do we replace all this stuff other than tearing up all the roads, tearing up all the cities, trying to get to all these old pipes. We didn't plan for it. Now, there's a great video, if you ever watch it, where it has this blue stuff and it's like a foam and they shoot it down the tube and it fills out the tube. And then they do this thing where it breaks in the middle, in the center. And all it does is it lines the pipes. It's amazing. It's like a balloon. And there's New Jersey, all these places. Now, why is the Flint thing important? Because when you have lead in your head, it causes headaches, causes irritability, causes you to be violent and emotional. Now, what are those things you see in the news? You're seeing people be emotional. You see them being violent. You see them having outbursts, having a mental breakdown. You see people going out and having these outbursts, right? You see people driving in traffic, having outbursts. LRA movement, you talked about it. You said a lot of people are having these mental health issues. You're meeting people who, on one hand, they've been living alone. And they ain't got nobody to talk to, nobody to act out with. And then they go out in a public place and act a fool. And you're like, what is wrong with them? It's a cry for attention / medication. Folks be needing some medication. But why do they need the medication? The pipes are bad. Water's bad. Their food they're eating is bad. I remember watching this thing where this health insurance paid for people. It's on Netflix. You can watch the documentary yourself. The people's health insurance in California paid for them because they just found out they got diabetes. They could go to this camp or they could do this other thing, right? So the camp would let them be there for 3 weeks. They'd have to walk every day. They'd have to follow the food regimen. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, the doctors, figured out A, B, and C, and your insurance would approve for the rest. Most of these people didn't have diabetes in 2 weeks. They would walk every day. They would eat better. They'd have fruits and vegetables. They'd have juices every day and would lose like 20, 30 pounds. And people were like, they told me I don't have diabetes no more. Because of the weight, because of the food you're eating, the intake. One guy was basically telling them every day he eat burgers and pizzas and steaks because that's what he wants to eat. And they're like, sir, didn't it ever occur to you maybe eat some vegetables? Nope. Again, a lot of this stuff all plays into itself. I don't want to go on a crazy rant tonight, but I'm telling you. That's okay. Yeah, that's true. There you go. Annette's worth. One Trump tweet made me $200 in the market today. I drove by a car. It was a BMW M5, or you guys can look on Instagram and see it. And basically, the guy had on his license plate 4X. Stuff is happening. Philip Case, why do you say we're heading for a recession? So Philip Case, any recession we have in the United States will be segmented. And this is my whole point of this whole video. You have a segmenting happening. Now, I was here in Midtown Atlanta. Then I went to Sandy Springs. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's literally 8 minutes up the road, but it's kind of a little bit economic better area, right? And I went and got my massage over there. And the woman giving me a massage was a skilled person who works at a hospital, but still needed more money. Now, common sense would say at that point, she should go get a higher paying job. She should go get more skills. She should go become a nurse. But I'm seeing certain groups of people be completely affected and others not. Now, you saw me bring on Chris Johnson and Kamoy Matthews talking about tech writing, talking about tech jobs. There's so much jobs in cybersecurity where we're just trying to protect banks and everyday websites from hackers. Those jobs are going to be there. There's so many tech jobs where they're paying $80,000 to $150,000 a year. And you have very few people doing what? Reaching for those jobs. So you got a lot of people in the economy, jobs don't pay enough. They don't pay enough. Well, go get this skill and you can go get this. Well, I don't want to do that, Erica. I don't want to do tech. I don't want to do medical. I don't want to do this. Well, then you can't complain. Because it's a segmented happening. It's a segmentation happening in our society. And I'm in a lot of groups and I read about 2-3 hours a day. And I promise you, you'll see more articles talking about boarding houses. You'll see more articles talking about negative incidents happening. You see a lot of things happening that line up to say some parts of our United States are in a recession. They literally was an article saying that the numbers for the CDC, that 54% of all children, people that have children in the home, have one person receiving some type of government assistance. Now, immediately I read this, I said 54%. Now, you got to think though, take it back. If you got your grandma living with you and your mom and dad and y'all live together and your grandma's on assistance, boom. Okay, so your mom or your dad or somebody gets food stamps and they live with you, boom, assistance. So 50%, half of all the children in the United States has someone in their house getting some type of check assistance, whether it's food stamps, whether it's Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, something. So you have a part of the society having an absolute struggle. And people are sitting here trying to convince you they're not. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's absolutely fine. Everything is fine. It's not, y'all. It's not. Now, on one hand, I'm sitting here telling you, move yourself up. There's almost no friction when it comes to moving up. They're literally taking people in tech who have no degrees, as long as they can show they can do the job, because they're that desperate for people to come. That desperate. I literally show you all the time on how I go on BizSell.com and BizQuest, and the average business owner is like 60 years old, 60, 65 years old, and they're ready to go sit down and retire. But what's happening in society? You have a group of people not moving into that space because they can't afford it. They don't have any money saved up. They can't buy their own business. They can't buy something off by BizQuest. They can't do anything. They can't buy a home. It's the economy. And then on the flip side, as a business owner, as a person who's in multiple events, conferences, going in different Facebook groups, paid. I'm talking about people paying $7,000, $2,000, $99 a month, $150 a month to give each other the best questions and access to all the answers to each other. Like, hey man, we're paying $99 a month. What are you doing? What are you doing in that part of Texas? I'm doing this in Texas. What are you doing in Florida? I'm doing this in Florida. What are you doing in New York? All sharing all the data, and everybody's getting the same data points. Where there's like 50 people in this group all getting $2,000 credit card limits from Chase and Amex, and just, oh well, that's all we can approve. And then you're on another group over here and 100 guys over here saying the same thing. Then you go over here and another 20 guys are saying it. It's a stagnation getting ready to come. Right now, we got approved by Ritchie Brothers, and in the Facebook group, I was showing people how they can get approved by Ritchie Brothers auction. Some of these trucks that we're paying for 50 and 60 grand are going for 30,000 all of a sudden. Because at the end of the day, you still need a freaking driver. So you can have 10 trucks today, but if you ain't got no drivers, you got 10 paperweights. So when people ask me, why do I think we're going in recession? Because I'm reading it, I'm seeing it. I don't even have to talk about the inverted year cut. I don't have to talk about that. There are so many other signs right in our face. They're putting up freaking glass cages at Kroger in the middle of a huge city that is vibrant, that has hundreds of people moving to it a day. There is security at every bank I go to in Texas now. Armed security. You haven't seen that in years. Every Chase bank within Texas in a major city has glass plated windows. They are bracing themselves in this economy and the future economy to do what? Realize that a lot of people are going to be having a rough time, and they're going to knock some people over the head to get what they need, right? Even here in Atlanta, there's a place near Midtown. 2 people got pushed to the ground by a man. First thing he says is, give me your seat. Don't ask for their wallet. He don't ask for their fucking wallet, you guys. He knocks them on the head. He says, unlock your phone and reset the pin right now. So, of course, they freak out. They unlock their phone. He makes them reset it. They reset the pin and he runs off. He doesn't even want their stupid wallet. Why? Because if I get your phone, some of y'all right now, somebody got my phone, I would chase them down and possibly shoot them, because this phone has access to $1 million worth of business. That serious. Now, most of the people use their phone to send naked pictures and do stupid shit. But that phone right there, the phone I just showed, this is $1 million phone. Now, every time they go and they say, we want to sell us your old phone, Miss Williams, hell no. Because I know you can't clearly knock off all pictures. You can't clear all data. That's why every time these celebrities have these naked pictures go, they go, how do they find it? Oh, I deleted it off my phone. But that's just it. You're not deleting it off of a computer. It's a computer. I don't want to go 2 feet. It's like 208 people here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I ain't trying to freak y'all out tonight, but there's a lesson here. And on my Instagram, I keep showing this song. It's Dame Dash. She talks about, if you don't get the lesson the first time, you'll hit that. You'll go back around. You'll keep hitting the loop again. I watched The Invisible People. The homeless man was Asian, clearly smart, perfect teeth, clearly educated. He was homeless. He, at one point, had cars and extra houses and extra boats. And he literally said when 2008 happened, he did not want to let go of what? His boats and his other cars and his dogs. So he moves in with his dad. His dad falls ill, stage 4 cancer, drops dead. Guess what? The state's like, well, you haven't been paying any mortgage. You haven't been paying the taxes. We're taking you out. We're evicting you. And he was like, oh my God, I got to get out. Yeah, you got to get out. This man still kept the dogs, got a car and dogs. And they go, you want to get some housing? Yes, I would love housing. You're going to have to get rid of the dogs. I refuse to get rid of my dogs, Erica. Not saying it to me, but he's saying it to the people. I will not. I'll be homeless with my dogs in California. So the man is having a segmented mind where he is still so full of pride. He could have he lost the house in North Carolina. He had $1 million house on the lake in North Carolina. He had a house in California. He had boats. Common sense would have said, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it all go. I'm gonna go to North Carolina, get some $800 rent. And back in 2008, he could have got some $600 rent and work myself back up. And instead, his pride let him come back to California, and I'm gonna get what I want. Now he's over a place in Oakland. This video is amazing. I shared it in the community tab. Dude was sweeping the ground, cleaning up the area. He keeps this area very clean. It's a bunch of tents, and everybody keeps it very clean over there, very neat and organized. And he's like, yeah, there's even a guy over here who drives for UPS, and he's living in these tents over here with us. So when I'm sitting here talking to people, oh, Erica, we're not in a recession. This is the greatest economy ever in our whole entire lives. You are usually the ideal of what your 5 friends are. I happened to go to a wealthy church and end up falling into a friend group where everybody was an engineer or tech person. Only people weren't all engineers were the women. And the women did what? Marry engineers. And when people were at church, they're like, why you didn't marry one of these nice engineer guys? I'm like, oh, some of them weird, some of them are weird. And so you're usually the summary of the 5 people you know. Most people say, oh, everybody I know is broke, honey, then you're usually broke. Let's just be honest. If you sit here and say, well, everybody I know is struggling, you're probably struggling too. If you sit here and say, I'm an engineer, 9 times out of 10, everybody you hang out with in your circle of friends are going to be engineers. Period. It is proven. You're a nurse, you're going to have a bunch of nurse friends. You're a doctor, you're going to have a bunch of doctor friends. You surround yourself with people who are like you. That's why it's so, you notice when people stop being something, all of a sudden they don't have those same friends anymore. Well, I used to be a cop, except for military guys. Military guys will hang out with each other regardless of where they at. It's just a different level of camaraderie. But you'll see people like, I used to be a cop, now I'm a security guard. Now you only hang out with other security guard people. Or bodyguards only hang out with bodyguards. Or these people only hang out, lawyers hang out with lawyers. I mean, it's the same thing. And so when you say, well, I don't see this recession, why are you saying there's a recession? If you actually stop, your group of friends are probably doing great, then you're doing great. But if you just stop and open the curtain and look past, you go, oh shit, people are out here struggling. They're having a hard time. Right now, just to be honest, right now, I know someone who literally, they changed their life. They paid off their debt. They followed Dave Ramsey. Now they're traveling the world and all their friends don't want to be their friend no more. And they go, what's wrong? Hey, buddy, what's up, neighbors? They're all like, why? Because it's not this same, we're all in together. We're all struggling together. That's not their identity anymore. So again, I don't have to prove to you the recession's here, or it's real, or 190 CEOs all quit their jobs this year, volunteered, took packages, get off the ship. Because why? What happened last time in 2007? A lot of people took those packages and got off the ship before it sank. Flint is gentrifying, want to be a college town. Yep. Lead babies are real. Listen. Prime example, the woman in Florida who the cop arrested, a 6-year-old. She's got sleep apnea. Child is overweight, just to be honest. And the child, what happens when you have sleep apnea? You can't fully sleep. You can't deep sleep because you stop sleeping, you stop breathing. Your body wakes up, trying to save itself. Now, what's that going to have? The child's irritable, not getting enough sleep. Sleep is one of the most important times of your body. Goes to school, has a tantrum, kicks somebody. And the cop goes, well, I have sleep apnea. I'm out here kicking people. She's a child. She's a 6-year-old. This food, this water, all this stuff plays together, y'all. And somebody was saying, man, there was this article about the chicken. Now, did you guys see the show Super Size Me? So that guy made a second one, and he's talking about chicken. Now, people in America love their chicken now, and it's going to blow you away because some people don't care. They love their chicken. And I literally said, I told my friend, I want to get to a point where I have enough money that I only buy food from farmers markets. I only get food shipped from certain areas, like just different things. I was like, I only want to do that because it's starting to be, the quality of the food is so poor. And you're seeing it. You're seeing the results. People barely eating certain foods and they're obese, they're big, but they're not eating healthy foods. It's filler food. So yes, lead baby is real. Lead is everywhere. If you want to safeguard against these type of things, Boswell, you should move to predominantly white areas. Unfortunately, some of that's true. I brought a 0 water filtering pitcher. This was the best investment ever. Yes, again, when you start seeing all these infomercials for solar battery packs and water filtration systems, I would make a joke, but you should totally invest in them. Oh, for sure. More violent people, more people get put in jail. I saw a tweet today from a girl telling dudes at TwitCon not to get on an elevator if there's a woman on there alone. That person never gets out. See, this is the thing. I was out tonight earlier and I was in the pool. People are like, oh man, you're brave. You're in the pool. I don't give a shit. I'm in the pool. I'm at this hotel. And there was this man talking. You know, he just went over and started talking to these 3 girls. They're just laughing, having a good time. And his friends are standing over there like, ooh. And I'm like, if people are even afraid to speak to each other, like that's the whole point of living, is speaking to people, creating family, creating friendships, creating bonds, living life. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's a person that doesn't get out. I mean, and people don't have to. People literally can create a life where they really don't have to interact with anybody. They literally can come home from work, stay home, order Uber Eats, order Instacart, bring stuff to their house, never do a thing outside the house if they don't want to. Yeah, that's true. This is true, Apple Mac. Private jails, yeah, they do. They sue for all this money. Tech writing. I'm gonna need to go back and watch it. I'm telling you, Dark Man Jeff, there's 227 people here, and I'm glad all y'all are here tonight. But I'm telling you, the reason I push Kamoy's class and Terry stuff, I'm like, I'm meeting people who are fucking idiots. And they, yeah, man, I got this. I've been trading stocks, man. I've been making about 60K every couple of months, man. It's been great. And I'm like, you? Oh, that's crazy, right? Or I'm meeting people who are doing shipping. There's a guy in our apartment complex with a $70,000 Ford Raptor truck. And I'm like, he's literally shipping stuff all day. Every time I drive by his garage, it's full to the tea of boxes and little carts and just shipping stuff all day. So that whole need to get in commuter traffic isn't there anymore. It just isn't. There's a lot of options if you want to do something different. She said you need to recession-proof your income, your employment, because that little part-time you got at Kohl's will not be. Exactly. Do you know how many parents and school teachers would tell you about their part-time job in the summer? That's how they make. I mean, like they have to do it every summer. Like every year being a teacher, they get married or they have to be doing part-time jobs. Fed for 2 weeks been loaning out $75 billion a day because they saw the lack of liquidity problem. Exactly. I'm getting around that. Apple Mac. A lot of times you go to people's channels and they have all these deep, going through 5,000 different articles telling you about stuff. And we need those people. We need those people on YouTube for sure. But they also have started labeling those channels conspiracy channels for just discussing the news. Now, on top of that, I can sit here and give you scenario after scenario, article after article showing you that we know this is happening. It's weird because I heard about 2008 recession, but I never knew about it these last few years. It is segmented for sure. I'm preparing yeah. Good night, Trav. Honey, California is the epicenter of the weather's not. The weather's so nice, Erica. The weather's so nice. Okay, the weather's nice, but your systems are failing. You're full of homeless people. Your system's broken. You're a beautiful place that's broken. Just like Hawaii. Hawaii's full of homeless people, and they're like, well, we lived on tents before y'all came here. We're gonna live on tents again. Hawaii's a little bit different because it's more tribal, but it's like, again, the part of one of the videos I was watching, this guy was crying. Like he just in the middle of his interview started crying. And he's like, are you all right, man? He's like, yeah. This guy was one of those people on the brink. He's like, I had a rental car and I was doing Uber Eats and I was doing all this stuff and I was sleeping in the car. And then sometimes I'd be in Airbnb for a few months and then I'd be back in the car. And then I overslept one morning and they towed the car at 7 a.m. And he now is what? Street homeless. And now he can't do what? Deliver food for Instacart. He's renting a bike. Pays $10 a day to rent the bike in California to deliver food. And they said, well, what's your game plan? He's like, I haven't seen my son in a year. Start crying. And he's like, they're in Alabama. They've already left and they're in Alabama. I'm going to go be with them. I literally want to grab this man and say, sir, stop. Wherever they are in Alabama, go be with them. Here's a bus ticket. Go get on the bus, ride the bus to Alabama. Goodbye. California's done with you. It's like he kept talking like, I'm just trying to get back. I'm trying to get back, on track, and I want to go, it's over. Your time in California is over. You stop, let it all go. Stop. Get that bus ticket and go. Now, but of course, he got the car towed, rental car towed, so that tagged him. Let's get on his credit. All that stuff is tagging him. And when I see stories like that, the first thing I do is, whatever you're doing is not working. Stop. Go wherever your family is. Go live with them. Because it's not worth it to be street homeless. Oh yeah, I've been to bartender. Here's what I guesstimate is going to happen. Now, I was going to make the thumbnail for the video to show you guys my truck that got absolutely totaled by the driver, and the insurance company was like, we'll replace it right now. And I was like, man, that's fast. I've never heard an insurance company just be like, they'll replace a whole semi truck, because they realize how much money is in trucking and how keep it moving, keep everything moving and going. They're quick to move. Now, this is what I have a theory. And again, people can say, Erica, you're being ridiculous. Trump's going to win again. As soon as he wins again, next Christmas, bottom fall all out. It's going to be like, what the happened? It just is. Now, what are all the business owners I know doing before that time? Getting all the credit, all the business lines of credit, all the bank lines they can get. Because people are saying, why are y'all so focused on bank credit lines? Why? Because the bank knows 9 times out of 10, if you're getting direct deposits to them, your company's running money through them, and they give you a business line of credit, they're going to get their money back. They're going to get their money back. But if they give you a credit card, unsecured, it's not tied to your bank account, it's not tied to anything. You could just run that credit card up and do what? Disappear. But if they give you that personal line of credit, that business line of credit, they know you need that account. They know you're going to use that account. That's the top tier. So, but that's what I have a feeling. All the business people are out here going ham right now. Every single group I'm in that's business related, I paid $100 to $7,000 to be in it. It is like, hey, let's get all the credit we can get right now. Let's buy up a lot of vacant lots. Let's buy up a lot of stuff and at least have it in process before next year. And I go, what's next year? Signs on the wall. These are business people. There's a guy I know in one of our groups started a Shopify store on Survivor Gear, and he just sells like crazy. I remember when before Obama got in, it was like right before Obama got in, and there was like a recession. All those survival sites were making all this money. People were moving out further into the country. They've taken their wife and their kids and moving further out and starting farms. Google YouTube. Go on YouTube right now. All these channels talking about farming, small homesteading, it all's happening at the same time. You got all this van life, but you got a lot of homestead life. And some of these van life people are like, if I can just buy some cheap acreage in this little nowhere town, I'll park my van here and I'll build whatever I want. And that's why you have towns coming up with laws like you can't just put a mobile home out here. You can't just put an RV out here. You got to build a structure. The writing's on the wall, but I'm just a messenger. Erica, thank you, penny stock investor. Automation is here. Possible government shutdown in October. It's going to be a crazy ride. September and October are already crazy months in the stock market to begin with. Oh my God. Been the bartender. I was in Los Angeles going to meet Todd Millionaire at the Shaquille O'Neal place. And I mean, the homeless, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. We drove past this one part. I was like, oh my God. And it was like homeless everywhere. My phone is my life. I'm telling you. Everything is in the cloud, which is another computer. It's Skynet. What's up with the YouTube sub count? Have you noticed your channel subscriber not updating? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's glitches in the system. I mean, there's so much I could talk about on here, but I don't want to get I don't want to get shadow banned again. Ben, the bartender, the man was literally, he was like, they've been with me since they were little puppies. I can't let go of them. And you know what that is? That is a cognitive dissonance where you realize you're in a terrible life situation, but you're trying to hold on to something. And 9 times out of 10, psychologists do let people keep the animals because something about their mental health. But those dogs, when he was talking about that, I just looked at him like, you talking about some dogs? I saw that he was a multimillionaire working for the DOD, Department of Defense. The entitlement ain't going nowhere. Trav, the man literally was like, I'm going to run for mayor in 2020. Like, he was dead serious. And MGTOW can say whatever they want. But if that man had gotten remarried to a woman that was like keeping him mentally afloat, like keeping him in a house, keeping him married, them keeping and sharing a house, he would not be on the street. I'm seeing a lot of it. People say, oh, you know, these men, when they're older, they're going to have somebody to take care of them. No, you're not. Ain't no 25-year-old trying to hook up with no 50-year-old dude that was homeless. No, ain't nowhere. Nowhere. But that's why you see so many homeless men. And you're starting to see a lot of homeless women. In Austin, whew. Oh, pets do become like your children. But O'Shea Lennox, at that point, here's my thing. He talked about he had bounced from couch to couch at different friends' houses. Give your dogs to friends just so that where he was going is he had to check the card to get housing. You know, you're homeless, we want to give you some housing, get you some cheap housing. Get in the housing first. Give it 6 months and get your dogs back from your friends. So I've seen it. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Borrow your books and read them. Great ideas. Thank you. Dude said $3 million in the bank folded, and that's how he lost his money, which is strange. Plus, he had a contractor skill, so I don't know why he couldn't keep him. That's my point. There's something missing in that story, right? Like, people always want to give you a story, but something missing. There's his story, the true story. You know what I mean? As a contractor, let me just put it this way. If I had lost everything, and here's probably what happened. He had a clearance, but when 2008 happened, he foreclosed on the house in North Carolina. He foreclosed on the house in California. He lost some other stuff. He probably could not get another clearance to go overseas and work. I've seen that happen to people. I remember a guy had $15,000, very clear, and back child support. He lost his clearance. Old boy couldn't go back overseas. Child support. And he was making $115K a year, so everybody wasn't really feeling sorry for him. They're like, man, you could have been paid that and kept it moving, going with your life. But now you can't go back overseas because you lost your contract. Something wrong there. Look, Cheyenne Wilfield. True. Lawyers hang out with lawyers. Yeah. You hang out with people in your same sphere. Thank you for just saying about the economy, Erica. It's like most Black people are asleep or blind to opportunity. Andre Ford, let me tell you something. If I could show you all the Black people in Austin who are like, man, I just got this tech job. Like, I just got it. It's great. Yeah. It is bananas. It's wide open. And while it's wide open, even if you have a recession come, you can get, I know people who work for one company, got fired, moved to this company, moved to that company, because it's a skill not many people are willing to do. And that's why I keep bringing on Kamoy and Chris, like, y'all, if you just get your foot in the door into those jobs, because if you notice, the trajectory of your life is very important for 5 years. Now you can go right now and go look at a set of people and look at what they've been doing for 5 years. And it will show you everything you need to know about those people. Now, I'm not going to say it for certainty, but I was delivering pizzas. And there were people who had been delivering pizzas for 5 years. And I was like, didn't you say you were going to college? Didn't you say you were getting a skill? Why are you still here? Like, my whole thing was, we're only doing this to get out of here, to go on with our next thing in life. And I realized some of those people were just saying they had something they were working on just so they didn't feel left behind, because they really didn't. I'm telling you. And so when you see a guy or girl who goes into, I remember we had a friend, I almost said his name. He lost his job at Apple. He went to Google, lost his job at Google. Then he didn't have a job for like a year. And everybody's like, man, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I have so much savings. I'm not worried about it. I'll go get another tech job. But you can't have those big gaps in between. you know? And so he did get another tech job, but that's just it. Once you get your foot in the door of tech, it's so, even if you get fired from 4-5 jobs, and this is a black, he's half black, half Hispanic, but he's a black guy. He been fired, let go, quit several jobs, and he was off for a whole year. But because he's been in that field, they know he can pick it right back up. And that's the thing. That's the importance. When you make high income like that and you don't have no car debt, you ain't got no crazy debt, and you unemployed for 6 months, it ain't no big deal, because what's what? You just using that money to do what? Make sure your rent's paid and you got food in your house till you get your next job. See, people out here working these jobs that pay so little that one little bump, they gone. They're homeless or they lose their shit. Late night Jules, man, trying to help, trying to get y'all to see out here. Oh yeah. Recession is when your neighbor loses their job. A depression is when you lose your job. Yeah. It's hard to make upper echelon friends when you're broke. V-Lee, it is. But what I've noticed is as you start to climb a little bit, as you start, listen, half the people, if you see, prime example, Marie Folio, Marie TV, who did she intern for? Anybody who knows this gets a cookie. I don't know, imaginary cookie, whatever, I see you. But who did Marie Folio intern for, you guys? I'll give you guys a minute. And don't be out there Googling it, because I have a feeling that many of you are Googling it. Anybody have a guess who Marie Folio, who's one of the biggest business TV sellers, intern for? I'll give it to you guys. Grant, no, I don't see anything. Anyway, Tony Robbins. So imagine you working for Tony Robbins as an intern. Who are you going to bump into all day? Tony Robbins is your boss. Who are you bumping into all day? Millionaires, billionaires, business owners, right? Even if you fall, you start some company, there's plenty of people who've worked for Grant Cardone have fallen off and done what? Work for other big name people, because they can say what? I worked for Grant Cardone. I worked for Grant Cardone. Right? So they already know how to play along the game. Yeah, millionaires, billionaires, all these people. So how do you make upper echelon friends? It's going to have to be the environments you go work for, the places you go work to, the places you go do events at, golf classics, business openings. I'm telling you, Chamber of Commerce. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Lead poisoning is a real issue. The effects are permanent, especially with children. Exactly. You got people out here that can't read, can't comprehend, something's wrong, and there's nothing physically wrong with them. It's the water and the food. AKW beats. My son has autism. While I have it under control, it's one of the biggest fears of sending him to public school. Yeah. I would do everything in my power, if I were you, to make enough income that you could stay home with him, or you could homeschool. There's a lot of different things I can say about that, because I've seen people literally raise children who there's nothing wrong with them physically, but they're just a little awkward. And so they didn't want to put them in public school because of fear of bullying. And it's been the best thing for them. The kids are sharp. They're smart. They know how to work the internet. They know how to do stuff. It just is what it is. When is Spark for there are 2 coming out, Lee Vickers, when it gets finished. The food issue is extremely trouble. It is. Thank you. Thank you, Dee. Terry's class is awesome. There you go. What's up, information man? What time is it in California, information man? Annette's worth. I have a bunch of millionaire friends now. Annette's pushed up through life. She's a prime example. Annette, she said how to let her know. Yep. The 75 billion feed thing I saw first online by a reputable guy. Then 2 days later, while I was trading on CNBC. Yeah. Yes, the chicken. I'm telling you. That should tell you to leave that place. Yep. Yes, the reason I moved out of California, too expensive, bad service. Looking at black men on Skid Row let me know it wasn't worth staying. Ooh. Oof, it's just, that cuts y'all. There's a video that Vsauce did where it said there are more vacant homes in America than there are homeless. But also you have ghost towns. You have places up north that people are not coming back because jobs aren't coming back. You have a lot of places that are just in bad condition, need to be repaired, mold, all kind of stuff, man. Man described the number of churches in the tax exempt. Why then asked? Then why are there so many homeless people? Because churches are actually handicapped from doing what they used to do. So if you actually go back and look about 50 years, Catholic churches used to do what? You used to have hospitals, used to have orphanages, used to do small, if you broke your arm, you broke your wrist, you could go by a Catholic church. They would have a doctor and a nurse. Almost in any of those places, you go look on the East Coast, you go back and look in a lot of records. And then guess what happened? Hospitals start suing the Catholic Church. Hospitals start suing these churches that had these programs. You couldn't do it anymore. They sent federal workers over there. So it's weird. So same thing when you had midwives back in the 1920s. The hospital said you couldn't do that no more. You can't be midwifing. You can't be birthing these people out here. That's why they had, for a long time, so many black babies were so healthy. A lot of white babies weren't in the 1920s, or they're very weak because they would give a certain type of drug, hallucinogenic drug, to the white women at the hospital. And it was making these babies kind of agitated, right? And all these black people were having healthy babies. They were having them at their house. Well-ventilated houses. Midwife comes over. They'd squat, or they'd be in water, squatting. You know, the old country joke that she was outside, squatted and had a baby. They were doing it in a natural way. Men, doctors did not want to squat underneath a woman, thought it beneath them. So they make you lay on your back, which is like pushing a football up a hill to get a baby out, instead of squatting, which is like squatting the baby out. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen that churches used to take care of that they can't take care of anymore because government intervention. Thank you. One last thing. California and New York are the start of this. A lot of people are going to be homeless. Oh, yeah. When people tell me, oh, yeah, I'm from New York, I used to be in New York, I'm like, listen, let that shit go. You couldn't afford to stay there. You didn't have the skills to stay there. There you go, Apple Mac. Yeah. Miss Erica, crazy to know you come to my store and see how easygoing you are. What's up, Quentin? And now watching you give this thoughts to people while you're on your business trip. You just told me about. You're motivated me to do more, inspiring to see you thrive. Thank you. What's up, Quentin? Quentin's a hardworking guy, you guys. Quentin, if I were you, I'd go back and look at the last video I just did with tech writer Kamoy Matthews and Chris Johnson. You're in Austin. You're right there at the domain. You can hop on over into the tech industry. Thank you, Penny Stock Investor, for the $5 super chat. Automation is here. Possible government shutdown in October. It's going to be a crazy ride. Yes. This is a good one. Tony Lamar. Will trucking companies go down? No. Because we've set up our American system. Now, will some of the prices be cheap? For sure. We've set up our American system that and I've showed you guys this story a billion times. There was a trucker strike. They stopped on the border of Nevada, like coming from California. They stopped. They did a line, like they made all this news. And so other truckers just parked at truck rest stops as a sign of solidarity and stuff. And they stopped for 8 hours. Immediately, several people from different government organizations come and said, listen, hey, get these damn trucks moving. When they stopped for 8 hours, y'all, over 4 major cities in Connecticut, New York, and 2 other places lost gas, lost water, and lost a couple of other supplies in their grocery stores from trucks stopping for 8 hours. We've built up this economy that it's like this. If you ever go on I-95 at night, it's just 3 lanes of trucks all night long because they're trying to do what? Stay out of the 5 o'clock traffic of people commuting to work. We've built our society up that these trucks have to deliver goods and services or they will not be there. There will be no gas. If a truck doesn't go to a major city, if no trucks, let's just say something happens in Charleston or South Carolina and no trucks can get to the city for 3 days, it will run out of everything: gas, food, water, and groceries. That's how we built up America at this point, that we have things put over here and then you drive over here, then you deliver over here, then you deliver. We've just set it up that way. So will trucking income be lower? Possibly, yes, that part. Because so many men will line up to be truckers. But those older road truckers are still going to make mad money. This week, my drivers get paid 55 cents a mile. One driver drove, how many miles did he drive? He drove almost 4,000 miles. So you do 55 cents times 4,000 miles and you tell me how much he made this week. Put that in the comments. It looked like no man. This is why I'm trying to get my house now. After the election hits, it's going to be hailstorm. Listen, and people love telling me, oh, I'm going to wait till after the recession, Erica. I'm going to give me a house right after recession. And I laugh because I go, do you not remember what happened in 2008, 2009? No one could qualify for a mortgage. And even if you did qualify, they kept turning people down just for whatever reason they decided. Like, no, we're just not going to do it. My sister bought a semi-truck. We had all the money. We had all this stuff going. We had all the documentation. Something's misspelled on that paper. In brief fraternity, we do it. Oh, something's misspelled on this. You forgot to sign here. They were looking for 6 days. Every day they kept trying to say something new. They were looking for a no. They were just looking for a way to say no. And then they went through and proved it. But I'm telling you, they will start combing with a tooth comb through all these housing applications. Because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, well, you know, you didn't have a job for 6 months 3 years ago. So nope, we're not going to give you this house loan. I'm telling you, people, if you want to go get it. Because it's easier to go ahead and get it. And then now you want to get other assets to it. But people don't want to hear me shy. You're right. Was looking at a vacant lot last week. Site said no modular homes allowed. That's right, Miss Curly Girl. People don't understand why they need money. The power is not in the money. The power is in the assets that you acquire with the money. Facts. What else I got in here? Listen, the big toe movement is about to go extinct once the recession hit. 2 incomes are better than one. Listen, and even so, even some of these guys have these roommate situations. If you go look up some of these channels, some of these men talking about, I work my job, I do this, I ain't got time for these hoes. We got 2 other men roommates living in the background. You doing your YouTube channel from your bedroom. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. Will working for trucking companies go down? Oh, I answered Lamar. Thank you for $2 super chat. Ain't no 50-year-old woman want to deal with no 50-year-old broke homeless dude. I'm telling you. That's why it looks crazy. Ain't no 25-year-old woman want to either, or 35. What's up, Mark DC? Thank you for the $2.99 super chat. They taking passports on non-payment. Let me tell you, God rest my father. So he didn't pay for I don't know how long, but he had like $5,000 debt. And he was getting ready to go out of country. And they made him at Alaska airport. Sir, you got 2 choices. We're going to take this passport and you're going to sit your ass back to your house. Or you're going to call this phone number and pay $5,000 over the phone via your debit card. I can't remember if he had to do debit card or credit card at the time. Or that's your choices. That's it. We take this passport out your hand and don't give it back. Or you're going to pay this over the phone. I remember my dad was cussing because this is my money to travel with. Guess what? He paid that money. Okay. All right. God rest his soul. My father died when I was a senior in college. But that story right there, honey, and this was back in, my dad's been dead for 12 years now. So they was doing that for a long time. They've been doing that a long time. Taking them passports. They ain't been playing that shit. Healthy heavyweights, please go back and check the last video. Somebody put the last video in there. Healthy heavyweights, please go back and check that video. That whole tech video. I'm gonna bring them on again. I'll keep trying to bring them on, but I promise you what I keep trying to tell people is that tech, man. That tech. Yeah. So 5,000 miles at 55 cents is $2,750 for 1 week of driving. So I'm in coding boot camp now. It's time to stop playing around. Smooth. I'm telling you. Word, I get so many emails about contract tech jobs, mainly from Indian recruiters. Yes, I see this in IT support. Cats working help desk for 10 years. Damn, that's a long time. Listen, the cognitive distance of wanting to frolic across the world while being behind on child support is cringeworthy. Honey, don't you know? I remember hearing that and being like, don't you think you should fix that one problem before you fix the other? I hear Erica, I'm not a pet guy myself. I know a woman that was deep in debt paying for castor treatment for her dog, and the dog still died. Y'all, I can't. Oh, thank you so much, Apple Mac. Apple Mac posted the video from yesterday. You guys go watch that tech video. Listen, I'm not trying to just sell courses. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the marketplace. That I have friends who've been making $120,000, $130,000 since we left college. And one of my friends is at Samsung, and he was stressed. He got labeled with depression. So Samsung said, listen, you can take 6 months off, but you got to come back. You can't quit your job. If you quit your job, then you owe us some type of fee. They owed a fee, or he get a bad recommendation on his next job. And literally, my friend went and traveled to Europe, went to Iceland. He did some other stuff. He went on some cruises with his parents. Then he came back. He's like, okay, I'm ready to go to work. What other type of career lets you do that? Not many. Tech needs people that bad that they're willing to write it in your contract that you can go off for 6 months, but if you quit your job, we're going to give you a bad mark. Ramit Sethi, the guy who wrote the book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Google said, hey, look, man, we're going to give you a month or two. He said, can I get 3 months to decide if I want to keep this job? No, you get a month or two, not 3 months. They're going to pay somebody $150,000 a year and letting them get a month off to decide if they want the job. I don't understand why more people aren't doing tech-related things. Now, y'all heard me a couple years ago before the channel popped off. I was about to go work at Dell and be a social coordinator, helping nerds put a job together. You know how much that cost? It was going to pay me $78,000 to $95,000 a year. I'm telling you. Tech cats be having 80K saved up. Of course, they take months off. Been the bartender, I'm telling you. And I remember one of my friends saying, well, what should I do? What should I do? Should I invest in these houses? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, should I invest in these houses? My video, guys, finally made it off the airplane, y'all. It's very late. Okay. Yeah, Grant Carter with Wall Street got into it. I quit my last job. I took off 5 months, got another job, making $7 more an hour. There you go. Tony Robbins. I knew you was Googling. A lot of my friends are tech recruiters. They are begging people. Most jobs, $50 an hour. Yes. And I remember one of the tech recruiters, ask your friends, don't ask them too directly, Dante, but I know they make 10 to 20K sometimes getting those people in those jobs because they need them so bad. They'll pay that person an assignment fee of $5,000 to $10,000, right? But what they're doing is they used to give people a moving incentive. Oh, we'll give you $10,000 to move here, relocate your family, relocate your stuff. Well, now they give that 10K usually to the recruiter because they can't afford to keep you both. That's right. Tony Robbins, he's a life coach. He's the top of the top. Big Willie, I can't. I'm not even going to read that, but it's funny. Exactly, Gio. That's my thing. When people be thinking like that, I'd be like, you got to have so much. Stop hanging around a lot of people. Tired of hearing complain. I work 2 jobs, planning to change to another one. Hold on, y'all. My video kid's here. Hold on. Tar. Literally live on YouTube.
Oh, you're live?
Yeah.
Thank you.
8:24. You're just 3 to
All right.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
What time?
10 a.m.
10? Okay, perfect.
You gotta be. It's on the 6th floor.
Oh, you think it's here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Enjoy your night.
All right.
Yeah, y'all probably all heard those details. You'll be all right. All right, let's see. What did y'all get to hear while I was out there? All right. Joshua Hill, some small work, recruiting firms. Yep. They were fixing pipes all over the city 3 years ago. A mayor came on the news talking about there's lead in the pipes, but only in the pipes in people's home, houseway. Exactly, bullcrap. It's pipe, lead in all the pipes. I'll be damned if I have my baby in the hospital. Exactly. And this lady was saying, I watched this video on this lady. They told her, listen, ma'am, you'll never have a baby naturally. You have to come into the hospital. You've already had one C-section. You got to do this. Well, the lady was in her bathtub at her house and had her baby. No problems. 9-pound baby. And they get there. They're like, well, you could have died, ma'am. Now, listen. People have been birthing babies since the dawn of time. And most videos and books you go back and look, they were squatting and they were in water. And they were also in the squat position, period. They just were. So there's a lot of things you hear doctors say. You're like, I don't know about that. Yep, cities were built around steel, factory mines, coaling. These jobs have left. Those cities are super poor now. Thank you, Apple Mac, for posting a tech video for people who need to see that tech video is tomorrow. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Just-in-time delivery. Oh, yeah, I believe some of these states, some of these people order these deliveries like right on time, like nick of time. Inventory. Trying to save money. I went to conferences hosted by millionaires I found on IG and Instagram and YouTube. Yeah. Super stingy with the loans. You're not going to get any loans. That's why when people say, I'm going to wait. It's a recession. Yeah. I'm like, man, come on. Exactly. The people with GI loans had it good in the recession. They did because it was government backed. I'm sorry that he felt he wasn't. We've done another video where Chris we did a whole interview with just Chris, not him and Kaboy. So you can go back and watch the other video, but honestly, his course is $299. It's plenty in there, but if you have any problems, message him. Trades will do fine. You'll always have hot people. Like, when people ask me about different trades or different jobs, the average contractor right now, an electrician, and a lot of the contractors are 57 years old, 65 years old, 57 to 65. So how much longer do you think a man 57 to 65 can climb on ladders, climb up under a house, climb up on roofs, install stuff? They ain't got it like that. I told you I was in traffic once and I took a picture. It was 2 men with gray hair, old in the face. All I can think of is if they fall down in this hole, who coming to get these 2 men? If they might be the most specialized on the job. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like any skill out there. If you're a man under 35 and you want to start, even if you're a man in your 40s and you want to start a new career, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, welding, trust me, the money's out there. You can do it. Y'all need to hose off these homeless dudes in the streets and take them home and give them a chance like men do. Cannot. I just cannot, Apple Mac. I cannot. Tech video was great. Looking for some young people to sponsor. Who would have? Yeah, I'm telling you. You know, Blackboard, that's something I want to do. This year I want to try to give more money to there's a couple different sponsorships I want to do as far as Black doctors. There's like this scholarship, I forgot what it's called, but it's essentially they have all these doctors who get approved to go like Minnesota, Wisconsin, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and usually the guys from Baltimore or inner city or somewhere. And he's like, I just can't financially afford to go to medical school in that place. Well, the scholarship covers those guys so that they don't turn down positions just because it's far. Thank you, Trav. Yep, that's true. Bam. Congratulations, the hustler. In 3 months, I can pay my mortgage and bills with one check. Congratulations. There you go. Man. Are the opportunities to get in trucking as it relates to hauling fuel, or is that restricted to fuel companies, or how do you do it? I don't do anything with fuel. You'd have to ask somebody in that. I'm so sorry. I found Reg in Philly, far from public transit, so I spend $30 on Uber every time I go to classes. Travel cost exceeds more than class. So Christopher Catchings, everybody, read what he just said. I found REIG in Philly, far from public transit, so I spend $30 on Uber every time I go to class. Travel exceeds that. Yeah. Big Willie, shame on you. That boy is 21. Your video guy, we know that was Jody creeping around the background. No. It's terrible. You're terrible. But you know what? He is an example of a young man who's using talent and skill to get where he wants to go. Literally saw me doing a live show in Detroit, waited, asked me could he come work for me, and the rest is history. Thank you for all your advice today. I got an $18,000 fleet card. Get it, relentless. Get it. Get it. Just had a friend who had her baby in the kitchen. It just popped out. So the thing of it is you have the potential of high blood pressure and different things. That's why people have to be. So people go to hospitals, but overall, most people could just squat in the kitchen. So, Philip Case, this is my first time watching you. Where can I follow you? Love the information. You can follow me here on YouTube, or you can go on Instagram at Erica's Classy Climb, or just type Erica Williams in there. You'll find me. Yep. State of Alabama is offering trade school classes for anyone who wants to learn. It is through AIDT. No, there's no other bigger raise than with yourself. I learned the hard way. Why keep paying some beady-eyed fool when I could get money? Yeah. So stupid. I was accepted at Penn U. Oh, coding boot camp. But funding has caused things to stall. I taught myself Linux and booked a new job. Thanks to Erica's advice. Whoop, yeah, Christopher. I like that. It's good. Oh, dang. Let's see what else. Okay, I'm about to wrap this up here. All right, because we've been going an hour and 29 minutes. I was only supposed to make this a quick show. Yeah, Chris, information is good. What are your thoughts on being a freight broker? Hey, make some more money, make yourself some money. You talked about skill jobs and HVAC and plumbing over a year ago. So at the video, I saw local HVAC and plumbing companies doing mass hiring of younger people. Yes. Okay, so here's something that happens in North Carolina, because I think you're out of Charlotte. North Carolina has some program that you can become HVAC certified in 6 months. I think it's near Greensboro. Because the people make quality people at that school, guess what happens? States like Texas and Alabama and Florida try to hire the students. So then North Carolina does what? Fall behind every year on having more HVAC certified people, because they do what? Go somewhere else. Okay. Thank you so much. I will actually email you, because there's always like, I want to give back more, even if it's 1,000 here, 1,000 there, because it just opens the door for more people. Are there incentives to get trucking contracts as a minor order and certified business? That would probably be more on the logistics side if I was more of someone getting the dispatching. But let me put it to you this way. If you're in trucking, the people who own everything are Middle Easterns and Ukrainians and Eastern Europeans, and they're all over there running a lot of dispatching. That's why my trucks stay busy, because everybody I'm working with is Eastern European, and they're hiring what? Somalians, Sudan, Moroccans. And guess what? They be wanting to work. Thank you. Are you in Atlanta? If so, I really want to do a consult with you. Relentless, I don't have any time this weekend. I'm surprised I'm even still on here doing this. I need to go to bed. Every black live stream, this is going to be a short video. It really do. It really do, Big Blue, but I got to go. Y'all have been hilarious, but I've got to go. But I just want to pay attention. That's all I'm trying to say. If you're in business, get them business lines of credit up, get that credit cards up, but use it for just marketing your business. Growing traffic and marketing business, because the people who are going to continue marketing, they're going to keep buying TV ads. They're going to keep buying news and radio. They'll be around. People who aren't, they will go away. They're going to go away. And if you're a person right now, only thing I encourage you to do is to strongly get into a job that pays more. So thank you guys. You've been beautiful. Thank you for so many of y'all hanging out tonight. What's up? Did your driver need some assistance after accident, or did you put him in touch with an insurance provider? So my driver, you guys, wrecked a truck, brand new truck. Thank God his wife wasn't in the truck, because usually he drives with his wife. She's from Boston. She doesn't speak a lot of English. But when the truck turned over, it burned all his ear. He still has an ear, but his neck, his arm, all this stuff is really damaged. And so he is home. And people ask me, was he fired? And I'm saying, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, yes, because he had 3 speeding tickets before this. And then this was just, no insurance is going to cover him for a while. And I hate that he won't be able to work. But he actually just need to go home, lay down, just go home. Thank you, $10. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm going to go wrap it up. Agree, I'm getting my business situated. It's sad when you try to do something positive. People hate for no reason. Co-workers, bank, all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, good night. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I know I feel bad for him, but I'm like, and he's out of Baltimore, Maryland, so I really want to help him, but it's like, dude, I just can't. The insurance was crazy when I put him on it. So, all right, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Clown Blog. Later.